four, three, two, one. Ignition.
All right.
Boom, let's stop.
All right, man. What's up? How's your weekend going?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yesterday I got my rest of my pieces
Oh,
for my guitar.
for your guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And that, yeah. Way cool. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were supposed to be here like 2 months ago, so that would
Yeah.
have been even more amazing. You know.
Yeah.
But all right. I wanted to get your opinion on something. So when you
All
go when you go to a restaurant, right? Do
Yeah.
you tip?
No.
Do you know what a tip is?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a tip?
It's like what people do when they spend extra. It's like spending extra money when they join.
Well, no, it's not spending extra money when you shouldn't. So, when you go to a restaurant, right, you have a waiter or a waitress,
Yeah.
right, and they bring you food. So, a tip goes towards the waiter or a waitress, you know,
Yeah.
because the waiter or waitress, they're not really getting paid that much, right? So, we
Yeah.
give them a couple extra dollars, right?
Yeah.
And so, I just wanted to talk about what your take was on that, because
Oh.
I I talk a lot about like I get pissed off at like Instacart and stuff like that, right? Because
Yeah.
they like mess up my banana orders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even though they mess up my orders, like I still give them a tip, because my uh the way I see it is that they still got my food to me, you
Yeah.
know? Like overall, in the beginning, the fact that I'm trusting a stranger to shop for me and bring me my food and
Yeah.
is like what they're hired for, I feel like. And then
Oh.
if they mess up, then sure, you can be mad at them, but in the end, you're the one that, or I mean, in the beginning or whatever, is that you're the one that trusted a stranger to shop for
Yeah.
you and bring you your food,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so, in my mind, if they got me the food, then their job is like they did good on their job. Same with like Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, right? Their
Oh,
whole
cool.
their job is to get
Yeah.
you from point A to point B, right?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And if they did that, then they deserve 5 stars, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, whether whether they got honked at or whether they drove a way that you didn't like or something, I understand that you don't have to like the way they drive or anything like that.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get into someone else's car, then
Yeah.
they can do, well, they can't do whatever they want, right? But I mean, they can drive the way they like. They can talk
Yeah.
the way they talk, right? They can
Yeah.
listen to whatever they want to listen to.
Yep.
But as long as they got you from point A to point B, then and you're safe, then I feel like they did their job, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think America has like they abuse their rating system when it comes to a rating system.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
You know, like, so how did we do today on a scale from 1 to 10 or 1 to 5? How did we do? You know, and then that, I feel like that gives the customer way too much power in a way. And then
Yeah.
it goes to their mind.
Oh, cool.
It goes to their head. And so
Yeah.
I'll just stop talking because I feel like you're just agreeing with whatever
It's
I'm saying.
no, fine. I need to agree on some stuff.
Okay.
That's what I do.
No, I know, but I also feel like I'm just talking, and
Oh, my
you're
bad.
just listening to me ramble. You know?
Oh, and also I need to. Well, actually, I don't want to do this, but I want to say like when I was talking to Offset, like on the 24th, you actually helped me like get all my ideas going on the setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were talking
So
earlier today.
no, this week.
Okay, because today's the 24th. So you said
Yeah.
we talked on the 24th, which is today.
Oh wait.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Oh
It doesn't really matter what the date was. You know?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just. It's,
But you actually helped me with the. So what I'm going to do when I'm moving to a group home, buy 3 amps, and I will buy three like three like this amp cords. But here I'm going to do, alright?
okay.
I'm going to like set up the mics and the amps ports on one setup.
Okay. That's yeah. I mean, whatever works, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, you don't need my approval to do what you want, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But it actually helped me get my ideas going.
Okay.
So when I am feeling out where piece goes well, I can actually map it where I want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And like, I think I'm going to have the amps against the wall since it's all like open free, almost.
What do you mean
So I
open?
can.
What do you mean
What I mean
open
by
free?
that means like no wires connected.
You mean
It's all wireless.
it's all wireless. So that's what you mean by open free
Yeah.
is wireless. Okay.
Yeah. So when I look, so when you help me on the wireless amp cord, you can actually, and it's costing about like almost $1 million just for everything.
Dude,
Almost.
if you're gonna buy something that costs you $1 million, you better have like a high paying job.
Well, no, not all at once. I'm going to do it in sequence.
Yeah, I know. I know you're not gonna pay $1 million all at once, but even still,
The idea, I'm the only like actually I thought like well it's like 3 times 400 I got like 20,000 like 12,000
12,000.
yeah renewable.
When did you get $12,000?
No I was adding up the amps at that time.
Okay, but you have to have the money first, right, before you buy
Yeah.
these amps.
Yeah.
And so
Any house, any job.
yeah, and a house and a job. Okay, so let me ask you something. You want a $12,000 amp, right?
Well, actually, 400.
Okay, $400
Yeah.
amp.
Yeah.
Is that realistic?
Well, right now, yes.
Right now, yes,
Because,
but you don't have a job, right?
yeah.
So
But that's one of my goals.
okay, yeah, that's totally fine. I just feel like one thing that some people have a hard time with is realistic goals, you know?
Yeah.
So like right now, a realistic goal to buy a $400 amp right now, I would say that it's not very realistic because you don't have a job yet, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would say,
But I don't mean now. I mean like getting a job and like getting a group home
okay,
that I can look into buying a
yeah,
lot of these.
yeah. I mean, when you move into a group home and you have a job, then yeah, don't get me wrong, something like that is realistic. But
Yeah.
if you didn't have a job, then that goal of buying a $1,200, $400 amp wouldn't be
Yeah.
that realistic, right? Because you don't have a job.
Yeah. And the mic I looked at, it's 200, like 200 feet.
200, so the cord's 200 feet?
No, it's wireless and it can reach to 200 feet.
Oh, it's wireless. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Nick,
So cool. Yeah.
to go back to your goal, what would, right now, what would be a more realistic goal?
To set up first I need to have a meeting. That's the realistic goal because it's on Tuesday.
Okay. All
About
right.
a house, about me getting my teeth out, my tooth out.
Okay.
And then I can look into hey, I want a group home and I want a job right away.
All right. So, do you remember when you got a notification about the new animation that I made?
Yeah.
Right? So, I think you should watch it. One thing I talked about was like sort of turning your goals into a game board.
Yeah.
Right? So it's what you would do is you would write down your end goal. So your end goal is to buy a $400 amp, right?
With instruments.
With instruments. Okay. So you would write that on one post-it note. And then on a separate post-it note, you would write down your first step, right?
Yeah.
And then as what you would do is you would write down little goals in between connecting your first step to your end goal. So it's kind of like a board game. And then as you finish these goals, you can visually see how close you are to your next goal, and then finally your end goal.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that you should try out to keep track
Well,
of.
actually, I already got it in mind.
What do you mean?
I got it in my mind. You're not going well.
Right, I understand that, but if it's in your mind, you're not really visually seeing it. See, when you visually see something, that's when you realize what you're doing and you get to see your progress, right?
Yeah.
If it's in your mind or on your phone or on your computer, you can go days without looking at your computer, right? Or looking at your phone, or not. You can't go days without looking at your phone, but I mean, if your goals are in like a folder, you can go days without looking into that folder, right?
Yeah.
And so if you visually have these post-it notes on a bulletin board or something, then you'll be reminded of it every day.
Oh, cool.
Right? So therefore, I think it will keep you motivated. See, the thing about a board game is what makes you want to finish a board game is as you move your piece throughout the board game, you can visually see how close you are to the end goal, right?
Yeah.
Keeping you motivated throughout the whole game. But if you don't visually see your progress to your goal, then it's hard to see. It's hard to stay motivated, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I came up with this idea to turn your goal into a board game, because you can visually see your progress and how close you are to your next goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would just recommend watching the latest video that I made. I don't know, it might help you.
Yeah.
Right? Or give you some give you some ideas.
Yeah. But give me some ideas. I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, what do they help you with?
Well, so much stuff when you made that video and sent it to me, I actually could like think how close I am, and right now I just on the first step.
Right. You're just on the first step because you have to, like you said, you have an interview, another interview on, was it Tuesday?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you have another interview, so that would be your first step. And then once you finish that step, you would take down the post it note and throw it in the trash can,
yeah,
right? So then you
yeah,
would be one step closer to your end goal, right?
yeah,
So, and when you're one step closer, that's when you visually see the progress that you're making.
yeah. And my own progress is when I get a job and when I'm going to a group home and have an interview for the house.
Okay, that's fine, but I think that you should worry about that when you get there, right?
Yeah.
So,
And if they told like, oh, I can buy all these instruments I want, then that when I get 5 feet of my steps.
right, right.
Because,
It just seems right now when you talk about these ideas that you want in the future, which it's always great to plan for your future, but it just seems like with all these ideas, it's kind of unorganized and scattered, right? So by making this game board, you're organizing your thoughts and ideas and your goals.
yeah, yeah,
So that's why I'm recommending the ideas that I have.
yeah. What is your goal, man?
What's my goal? Let's see. So this is funny because my goals are on my computer. And they're on like a sticky note app. So like
Oh,
they
nice.
stay on my desktop, right? And
Yeah,
so I have create 20 videos by March 4th, which is my birthday. Um, I have 10 so far, right? Um,
yeah,
I've calculated how many I'm gonna get done, and I think I'm gonna, cause I get one done a week, right?
yeah.
And so by March 4th, I think I should have about 15, which is 5
Oh,
short than I want.
oh,
But I am also doing a video every week, right?
yeah,
So as long as I'm doing a video every week, I think that's fine. And then I also want to do 50 videos by May 1st, right? And then
whoa, wait, how are you going to do that?
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get 50 done by May 1st, but as long as I make one video per week, I'm going to consider that a success, right?
Oh, cool.
I have upload these videos to YouTube. Right now I have uploaded 6. I have 10 videos altogether, but I've only uploaded 6 because some of these videos that I've made aren't to my standards, like right now.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna upload them to YouTube because people might watch these videos and be like, "Man, these suck," you know. So
yeah.
they don't pass my standards. So that's why I haven't uploaded them. Or it's just
Oh, cool.
because I've only been able to upload 6.
Yeah,
And then one of my goals is to learn this program called Moho Animations, which is
oh,
a
nice.
more
Events.
more advanced program, right?
Yeah,
And I mean, I want to learn it and I want to use it to make some of these videos, but if I did
yeah,
that, I would have to make my own like walk cycles, right? And
yeah,
different cycles, which is awesome, but if I have to create my own walk cycles and stuff, uh it may take longer to make these videos, because I mean with the animation program I use right now called Toonly, there are preset animation cycles. So if you can tell a character to walk, and there's already a walking cycle programmed into the program, right?
Yeah.
And so if I had to make my own walking cycles or anything like that, it would take longer. Same with like talking. Like all I
Yeah.
gotta do is say, hey, I want this character to lip sync to what, the audio that it upload. But if I did that with Moho animations, I would have to animate him talking. So I would have to manually move his lips to what the audio is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless there's a way in Moho to lip sync, but I don't think there is. I think you have to manually move the lips.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And that's going to be tough.
yeah, that is gonna be tough. But maybe I'll just use Moho animations for like something else and use them. Just
The animation that you have right now
just take
for your
long.
videos.
Yeah, just I don't know. I'll have to figure something out.
Yeah. But if you want to pick the videos and wait until like my phone stretches the program that I have now.
Well, what program do you have?
No, the one that you have.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it's that for your animation.
Well, I mean, I'll probably want to get 50 done, and then
Yeah.
I'll learn Moho. I mean, I'm not gonna, I mean, Moho, I could probably learn. I don't. All right, I'll start over because I feel like my brain scrambled right now. So I need to get 50 videos. I'm sure I know a lot about Toonly, and I can move on to Moho right now. But
Yeah.
I'd rather use Toonly for a while, get my 50 videos, possibly learn more about Toonly, and then learn how to do Moho.
Yeah.
Like I really want to know Toonly before I move on to Moho. And the only thing that I think that I haven't used in my videos yet are like sound effects.
Oh, cool.
So like
Yeah.
let's say I do an animation of a football game. A sound effect would be like the whistle blowing, or like the players saying hike, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. That's the only thing that I haven't really added into my animations.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's one song I want to practice as well, but I'm pulling back on it.
Why?
Well, because of because it might be too tough for me too long.
Wait, are you talking about Old MacDonald?
No, a different song.
What do you mean? What song?
Any kind, like not kid songs, but my own original.
Well, dude, I mean, if you should eventually aim to make your own songs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and or if you want to do covers, you might want to move away from. Well, maybe not move away, but you want to include songs by bands, right?
Yeah.
So what's one of your favorite bands?
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. All right. So you might want to learn Sweet Child of Mine. Right?
Yeah, but for that I am pulling back because they use the electric.
Yeah, but just because they use an electric doesn't mean that you can't learn it on acoustic, right?
Yeah, but if I do my acoustic, it will not sound right.
Hold on one sec. I gotta plug my computer in.
John.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's still gonna sound right. It's just gonna be on an acoustic,
yeah,
right? I mean, I'm sure Drake Bell, even though he plays guitar, an electric guitar, I'm sure he's messed around with an acoustic guitar. Same with
yeah,
Guns N' Roses, even though that they, use electric guitars in their songs, they still have acoustic versions of songs,
yeah,
right? So I mean, some, I mean, so yeah, just because a song is meant for an electric guitar, it doesn't mean you can't learn it on an acoustic guitar,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. But I also want to match the Switch as well.
What do you mean the Switch? The Nintendo Switch?
No. The Switch on the tones to acoustic on to electric,
Okay.
so I can get both vibes on both hits.
All right.
You know what I'm saying now? Because
Well, I mean, I'm kind of having a hard time understand because
oh, like from I ain't know why don't like by Bon Jovi, right?
yeah.
So before they switched to the electric, they had to do acoustic. But
Right.
I want to have the same profile as
Okay.
it.
Well, think about it this way, okay? So, do you know who makes Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, rock stones.
Right, Rockstar Games makes Grand Theft Auto. Now,
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto originally came out for the PlayStation, right? The PlayStation
yeah,
1. And when Grand Theft Auto came out, it was originally an over the top-down view, right? So you were
yeah,
looking at the player from above him,
yeah,
right? Now, uh, when Grand Theft Auto, right, they came out with Grand Theft Auto Vice City, I think. I think that was the last one for the PlayStation, and then it went to Xbox, I believe, right?
yeah,
Now, what do you think? I mean, that's an example of a company that was like, hey, you know what? Why don't we make this? Why don't we do something different and make it for another system?
yeah,
And then on top of that, they're like, you know what? Why don't we try and change the view of the player instead of top down? Let's go to third person, right?
yeah,
And by going to third person, the game was actually better. Well, I
yeah,
mean, I'm assuming everyone thinks that way. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But because the game went from top down to third person, the game is better, right?
yeah,
So, I mean, so since you don't want to go from electric to acoustic, right?
yeah,
That's like saying Rockstar Games is like, hey, let's just stick with the top down, right?
yeah. For me, I want to like have both connections.
What do you mean by both connections?
Well, by the amp and by the single player mode on my acoustic, because the amp is better with me than my acoustic sounds kind of like different to me.
Well, yeah,
No,
of course it sounds different because it's an acoustic guitar. Of course it's gonna
yeah,
sound different than an electric guitar,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
that doesn't mean you shouldn't try it, you know. So I'm a comedian, right?
yeah,
And one of my favorite things that I've heard someone say, Louis C.K. said that good writers write shit, right? But
Oh boy,
they
yeah,
eventually write something good.
yeah,
And so good writers write shit because not everyone is going to write the best material right out of the gate,
yeah,
right? They have to try different things.
yeah,
And so that's sort of what maybe you should try something on the electric guitar and then try it on the acoustic guitar, because just
yeah,
because you try it on the electric guitar doesn't mean it's not going to be better or you're going to like it more on the acoustic, right?
yeah. So
So
you mean like the switch or loop? You mean like turn the acoustic before the electric?
right, right. I mean that's also what musicians should do, right? Is experiment with different things,
Yeah,
right? Because who knows, maybe Sweet Child of Mine, maybe they originally wanted to play it on acoustic and then they played acoustic and they were like, you know what, let's play it with electric guitar and just see how it sounds. And so they played
yeah,
electric guitar and they were like, you know what, I like it on the electric better.
yeah,
So let's play it with electric on the CD,
yeah.
right?
That's what I'm thinking of.
So,
Because I don't know if I'm going to be good both ways, but I want to like try to like experiment. When I have my electric, I'm going to experiment, try some stuff on the acoustic and on the electric at the same time.
okay.
Like I'm going to like ask for my staff to like, hey, can I have my acoustic or my electric just for a first piece of the song that I will decide.
Okay. Say that again?
Like I get a grip on my staff like, okay, what guitar do you want first? Your acoustic so I can try something or electric first to try something like, no, give me my electric because I want to like try something on that first, then decide. I get the lift I want to try before I hit the alone lift, you
Okay.
know? So that's why I'm pulling back and try to get all of them that I can like design and live from wherever I want, you know?
Yeah.
Because my sound better on the basis might not, you know?
Yeah.
I might sound good on the drums, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I'm pulling back on my own music so I can make sure that I hit the right spot every time, you know?
Yeah.
Because there might be this some of the time that I can hit at the same location, all of them, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
A little.
Uh, like, because I can't do it on my mic, there's no way I'm going here. But I might, like, they'll got me a song somewhere inside me that I like to pop out. But I don't know if it's going to be the right sound or the right intro.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. You could have a song in you, right? But
Yeah,
I also feel like when you learn other songs, you prepare yourself to write your own songs, right?
yeah,
So that's kind of why I wanted you to learn uh, Old MacDonald.
yeah.
Is
I
because
did, and I learned it, and I just have to like when I want to play it for them.
Right. I understand that you learned Old MacDonald, which is awesome. But you remember how I said I could probably learn Moho animations now, but
Yeah,
I'd rather create 50 songs in Toonly so that like I know that I've learned everything that I can learn and that I've practiced making multiple videos before I move on to Moho.
yeah,
That's sort of what I want, that's what I'm trying to get you to do is like I understand you learn the song, which is awesome, but I
yeah,
feel like the more you practice Old MacDonald, the better you're gonna get at it. You know?
yeah,
I mean, wouldn't you rather be really good at Old MacDonald than just learn it once and be like, okay, I know it. But then what happens if you play it and then you forget how it goes because you only played it that one time,
yeah,
right? And if you played it, hundreds of times, then it's going to be like the back of your hand, right? You're going to know it on the back of your hand
yeah.
or however that stupid phrase
Yeah,
goes.
you mean like inside like the total
Yeah, like you're going to know exactly how to play it, right? It's going to be second hand nature,
Yeah,
right? But if you only play it once, then you're going to be like, wait a minute, how does this go? How does that go? Like what, like you're going to possibly forget how it goes, right?
yeah,
So then when you forget how it goes, then that's when you do a redo, which is what you don't want. You want it to you want to possibly play it smoothly all the way through.
yeah,
So that's why I keep trying to remind you to practice it every day,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it sounded great on the acoustic, but what I'm saying, like, other songs I went to learn, they're not on the acoustic.
That's fine. Just you can still learn it on your acoustic, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it might not sound the way I want it, but as long as I give it a shot, I
Yeah,
might
man.
make it.
Yeah, just give it a shot. Um I was actually watching a YouTube video about this guy who his channel is all about like building little houses with his wife,
Yeah,
you know, like building cabins and things like that. And
yeah,
one of his videos was all about like, oh, well, you're a professional, so yeah, of course you can do that because you know how to do it, you know,
yeah,
or like you have the time, or I can't do, people would be like, I can't do that because I don't have this or that or whatever, or I don't have the experience and stuff like that. And in
yeah,
this video, he talks about how he hates people that have a I can't do it attitude, right?
yeah,
Because, I mean, it's not fun. He also goes on to
yeah,
talking about how what he does in these videos is basic. Like anyone can learn how to do it. It's just that people automatically go, "Oh, I can't do that. I don't have the land, or I don't have the time, or I don't have, I'm not a professional, right? I
yeah,
don't know this or that." And it's like, well, yeah, I get that. How like school and textbooks and all, things like that, and classes teach you how to do something, which is great, but you also have to have the experience. Like you have to do it,
yeah,
and he says a lot of houses that he makes and cabins and stuff, he learns along the way, right?
yeah.
There's no one way.
But can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So what I am trying, like, I'm not going to go big on stage. I'm really not planning on doing that. That's my dream, but I'm really can't go on stage
You can't go
and
on.
perform
Well, okay.
because I'm too nervous about in the big time.
You know what, man? When it comes to that, when it comes to stage fright, you just have to force yourself to do it like twice, and then you're
Yeah,
hooked, and then you get hooked, and you want to go up on any stage that you can. And then before that, or I mean after that, I guess, is it's no big deal. Like right now, I know this is gonna sound probably dickish or whatever,
yeah,
but I don't consider getting on stage a talent. Because after a
yeah,
while, you just forget about it and you just do it, right?
yeah,
Because you've done it so many times, you become comfortable with it. I mean, in my case, you know, you go on
yeah,
stage a number of times. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still get nervous. It's
yeah,
just that people go like, man, I could never go on stage and do that. And it's like, you mean just walk on stage and talk? Like, that's nothing,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
It's just no big. It's not really a big deal anymore. So like, once you go on stage and get in front of 10 people,
yeah,
you go in front of like 10 people and you do that for let's say 5 years, and then you go
yeah,
on to a stage for like 10,000 or 500 or whatever.
yeah,
To me, right now, it's the same.
yeah. But
I'm
to me, I'm not going to hit
I'm
any stage.
I mean, that's fine. If you don't want to get on stage, that's not, that's what you want. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that like over time, you get over stage fright. You just have to force yourself to do it that one time.
yeah. And that's why I'm going to have somebody right beside me, like not beside me, but behind the curtain, kind of like, so I can tell like, hey, I need like 5 minutes before I actually play.
Okay.
So before I hit the audience with my music, I'm going to practice the empty stage.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can practice on an empty stage.
Yeah, yeah, but that's only with my acoustic.
Isn't it?
But
It's not going to be the same with your electric.
well, they're going to be my practice guitar
Your acoustic.
before the actual electric guitar. My electric is going to be like when the audience is full, the the stands that will hit the electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like going to be an off counting
Okay.
because when I practice, I'm going to have my acoustic in my hand before the electric.
You,
So I don't make too much noise. And like, oh shit, so it's on, you know?
wait, what are you talking about? Making too much noise? You're at a concert, right? You don't. No, there's no such thing as making too much noise at a
No, no,
concert.
no, 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 no. I mean like going on stage to practice.
Okay. Well, I mean, so I think what you're talking about is sound check, right?
Yeah,
So the thing with sound check is that if you're worried about not making, you don't want to make too much noise when it comes to sound check, right?
yeah,
So the thing about that is, I think in sound check you should want to make enough, like a lot of noise, because what
yeah,
happens if you do sound check and you play your acoustic because you don't want to make a lot of noise, and then you get your electric and then you blow out a speaker because you made too much noise,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You want to make sure that that speaker can handle as much noise as you make.
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but what I mean like when people are waiting outside of my door, that's why I don't want to make a whole bunch of rackets. You know?
You don't want to make enough. You don't want to make too much noise because you don't want people outside the building to hear you while they're in line.
Yeah, yeah.
But why?
Because because I want to like have them like barge in through the door and like taking those seats away.
Well, I mean, just because you make noise doesn't mean someone's gonna hear it and then barge into the stadium and sit down.
Yeah, but I want to be like I want to like I'm going to have a sound check like whoever it is, like I'm going to get on at night just to do my sound checks.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, I think, and I could be wrong, is I think they do sound check the day before. You know,
Yeah, but
so
I'm going to have it like 5 days a week before I let the guys come in and do all this stuff,
you
you
get
know?
you're gonna have sound check 5 days a week.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you gotta. It depends on how many shows you do, right? Because I mean, yeah, if you do 5 shows a week, then you have to have sound check 5 days a week before each show. You know,
yeah. I
but
mean, like before they take all my stuff down, like, hang on, let me do a really fast sound check before I move on to the next stage.
well, I mean, if you're done with the gig and you have to move on to another stage, what's the point of doing sound check at the stage you're leaving, right?
And that's a good point.
I mean, you only want to the main reason people do sound check is because they're doing sound check before the show,
Yeah,
not after.
yeah. But I'm going to have two sound checks, one before, one after,
I mean, yeah.
because I might have two shows in one day.
Yeah, well, for a band, I don't know if that. I mean, it could be possible for a band to
Yeah,
have 2 shows in one day. Yeah, but it depends on when you start your show, right?
yeah,
Cause if you,
like one will be in the morning, one will be in the afternoon.
well, I don't know if people are gonna want to go to a rock show in the morning. They might. It's possible, but most of the time people.
No, not a rock show. It's a kid show.
Oh, for kids, okay. Well, then you have then if they're gonna be kids, then the kids are probably gonna go to bed. What's the age range of these kids?
Well, for like not preschoolers because that's way too low. That's way too young, you know?
Okay, so at what age do you want people to attend your show?
4 to 12.
4 to 12? Okay, then you gotta do a show at like 4 in the afternoon and then have them get out at like 6 or 7, depending on how
Yeah.
long your set is. Because if you
Yeah,
want,
because they don't have one in the morning just for the younger ones and the higher ones could be like anytime before 7.
okay. Well, so if you're gonna play for kids, then I don't know if electric guitar is gonna be. You're gonna want your electric guitar to be your instrument of choice, because I mean
Yeah,
that if you're concerned about getting too loud, then it makes sense because you're playing for kids, right? And if you play
yeah,
too loud, remember when you went to go see Monster Trucks and
yeah, I'm a scared.
yeah, you were scared because it was too loud, right?
Yeah,
So if you use an electric guitar to play for kids, then they might get scared, right?
yeah, yeah. But the adults can be like from like 8 to midnight.
So wait, are you playing for kids or adults?
But any range.
Okay, well, so are you gonna play the same songs or different songs for adults?
Different,
Okay.
different. But because the adults can handle touching on that, the
Yeah.
kids cannot hear me touch at all.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, the joyful kids out there, and like they're on both stages, the adults are like, oh, just a heads up, there are adult stuff coming up, you know?
Yeah.
But the kids don't know it, the adults, that's going to throw me off track.
Why would that throw you off track?
Because the kids might hear what I'm playing with the cutscene and like, oh, that's fun. It's like, this is for you, this is for the adults, you know?
Yeah.
Get off your kids. Don't show you trouble. The adults are here now,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
But I gotta seek a kid before I play for the adults, you know?
You have to play for the kids before you play for adults?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just like very funny for the kids. If I seek a kid, like, damn it, I have to change the whole scene, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, fudge. Like, you know? Like, I don't let the kids be kids and like on my gig, you
Are you,
know?
are you gonna let boys be boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I gotta have swing sets for the kids.
You're gonna have swing sets at your concert for kids.
Yes. So that'd be a treat. So they can get exercise while I'm playing and get my exercise. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I gotta up swing set, but they cannot be close to each other. You know?
Yeah.
But the adults can handle like well played stretch in my gig. It's like kids can be on the side of the stage playing while I'm singing for the adults or for the kids while they are playing, you know?
Yeah.
But like if I say like no alcohol at all on this show, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I think a kid, I take the bills away, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I like to see a kid when I'm playing for the adults. I'm going, oh, adults are okay, but kids are very friendly,
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah, kids are family friendly.
Because if I say curse word and they're like, oh, that's a holy curse word, if they're kids, like, no, get that kid off you, you know?
Yeah.
If I hear a kid, like, damn it, I'm stopping the show. So I don't care what song I'm at, like, cut the music and get that kid out though, right? You know that, right?
No, because you just told me. So why would I know that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because if I see kids like dog show, like cut the music, cut the mouth, and the parents are like, oh, this guy is like mean to us. It's like, no, I'm not trying to be mean. I just want the king of be in the show. And I'm playing for the adults, you know,
Yeah.
because it's not going to be okay for the kids to hear what I'm going to say to the adults, because that's going to mess up their minds. Like, oh, this is safe. Let's do it at school, let's do it at home. It's like, no, it's not safe for kids, you know? And it's going to be rough for me if I do that. Like, I'm going to peek outside and see if I can spot a kid in the adults.
Yeah.
I'm going to like, and if they charge on me, it's like, get back!
Why would they
I'm,
charge you?
because I'm so freaking popular.
Okay.
But if the kids are like 12 and 13, they can be in with the adults, and that's okay. That's the only age that can be with the adults.
Yeah.
So between like 7 and 9, no, 7 and 10 on the afternoon. But the little ones can be in the morning.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to do a lot of my, like have 3 songs in one day. Three, um, 3 concerts in one day. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I want to make it easy for me and easy for the adults to have time with their kids on playing, and they can like. If I ask, can I have an audience that can sing very well to help me sing a song? No.
Yeah.
And if I'm going, oh, like, I'm going to say like, tick number 12 and row 8. They're like, row 8, 12, and that's me. Come on up. You know?
Yeah.
But if it's a kid, it's like, come on up, you're fine. But like the security is like, dude, they're not allowed to be on stage. It's like, well, first of all, they're helping me on a song with the lyrics, you know? You
Yeah.
have to, like, before the gig, I go and talk to my security and my manager and my band to go, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking of, alright?
Yeah.
Because we are open and if but I'm not have no stage dives.
Well, of course not. Their kids gotta be in your audience. Why would you stage dive? Stage
No,
dive.
no,
You're
no,
gonna kill
no,
them.
no, not me, the kids or the adults.
Why would they stage dive? The stage dive is for the performer, right?
Oh,
Not for the
yeah,
audience.
oh, I, but I won't do that at all. Because I go way too high up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one thing is, I don't want no drunk people in my in my shows.
Again, your shows are for kids. There's gonna be no drunk person at your show because kids don't drink.
Yeah, I mean for the adults.
I mean, yeah, I mean you can't. You can regulate it, but I'm sure you're gonna have one. You know, because I
Yeah,
mean you're at a concert for fucking kids. You know,
yeah,
I'm sure the parents are gonna, gotta drink or something.
yeah.
Or not, if you don't want drunk people at your shows and don't sell alcohol,
So,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so,
yeah. It's all to come at age group they all,
yeah, exactly. All right, man.
But
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we gotta get going, but if you
Alright.
want to finish what you were saying,
No, it's alright. I'm
alright.
coming for the to be continued.
To be continued. All right, man. Well, I love you. Talk to you later. All right.
Alright.
See you guys next week.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.